The American dream. For centuries, immigrants have crossed oceans to build lives in the United States. The Modells were one such family. In the late 19th century, Russian brothers George and Manny Modell started a pushcart business on the streets of New York City. They bought, sold, and bartered items until their business was flourishing and upgraded from a pushcart to a storefront. Generations later, the Modell family business has expanded into many ventures, among them pawnbroking. The pawn industry has been around for thousands of years, and many consider it to be the oldest profession in the world. No one has been doing it longer in the United States.
Pawnbroking is giving money to people to help them meet their financing needs. They give jewelry or other valuables for a short period of time to be used as collateral for a loan. People pay back the loan with interest and they receive their merchandise back.
Historically, there are many inaccurate stereotypes about pawn shops, which are largely the result of Hollywood's portrayal of the industry in TV and movies. But the truth is that pawn shops are clean, well-lit stores that are run by professional business people. They're also an important part of our economy, providing non-recourse instant cash loans. The fact is that it is in the interest of the pawnbroker for the borrower to return to claim his or her merchandise rather than let it default.
Pawnbroking is very much a relationship business. 75% of our customers will return to our store in the future for another loan. So if I foreclose on a loan today, that means that my customer will not have that item in the future to repledge to meet any needs. We work very hard to make sure that our customers do not get foreclosed. We send them notifications in the mail, we call them, we make every effort to get them to come back in and redeem their item. And as a result of our efforts, we have a foreclosure rate of somewhere between 5 and 7%.
In order to get a pawn loan, you must have collateral, often a piece of jewelry. The value of that collateral determines the amount of the loan. The broker makes money by charging interest on the loan at a legal rate set by government statute. In return, the borrower gets an instant, confidential, short-term, small-dollar loan and money needed to pay unexpected bills, buy school supplies, or plan the trip of a lifetime.
A pawn loan was more appealing to me than going to a bank for a loan because I had immediate access to the cash, as opposed to the turnaround time necessary for the bank approval. It was my goal to be the first African-American woman to have stood on both poles. So I used the money to help pay for my trip to the geographic South Pole.
The pawn industry is tightly regulated by federal and state laws to protect both borrowers and brokers. Fees and interest rates are restricted. Detailed records of borrowers and items are collected and shared with law enforcement.
We are regulated by federal, state, and local law. On the federal level, that has to do with interest rates, it has to do with money laundering under the American Patriot Act, suspicious activity reports to the Treasury Department. On the state level, we are regulated as to our interest rates, the regulations that we have to follow to maintain our business, and certain legislative orders from the state. And on the city basis, we are under the Department of Consumer Affairs, where we are regulated in our dealings with each and every consumer.
In 1893, the Modell brothers had nothing but each other and big dreams of success. Today, through their pawn brokerage, they're able to help others struggling financially make ends meet. Modell is America's leading jewelry pawnbroker. With 8 locations across New York City, Modell specializes in gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. We provide quick and confidential loans through cash, check, or wire transfer, free loan appraisal, and pay the highest prices, all without credit checks. At Modell, your jewelry is insured by Lloyd's of London and stored in a secure location, so you can be sure your jewelry is safe with us. Modell has been in business in New York for more than 115 years, and 4 generations of family ownership has earned us a worldwide reputation of integrity and service.
We have tens of thousands of borrowers, have long-standing and long relationships with them. As far as foreclosures go, our situation is somewhat different than that in the country. Our foreclosure rate goes between 5 and 10%. So depending upon economic circumstances, we have a very, very small foreclosure rate.
I would recommend Modell's pawnbrokers because Modell gives the client a high level of privacy. They are very professional. I've done business with Modell's for over 20 years, and during that time, I have always been received with dignity, politeness, and a high level of privacy.
I needed a large cash infusion in the fourth quarter of my business around 1989. My business took off. It was a bottoms-up, family-owned business, and I needed $150,000 to secure inventory. I didn't really have time for the bank, so I knew Modell's had great advertising. They had a great reputation. Other colleagues had used them. And with confidence, I came here because I like to play it safe, play it right. And I had nothing but a great experience. And through the decades, as a hand-on entrepreneurial, with SBA loans being difficult or business loans in general, this was a great opportunity for me, and it helped me grow my business tremendously. Modell's is wonderful.
Get fast cash in a secure environment with no credit checks. Come to Modell Pawnbrokers, America's leading jewelry pawnbroker. Visit us online at gmodell.net. For more information about pawn shops or to find a pawn shop near you, visit pawnshopstoday.com.